If you're struggling to get any new viewers into your streams and you're about to give up, don't. Well, at least not before watching this video, of course. Because in this video, I'm gonna be showing you the one proven method, which I've been using for years, as well as many other successful content creators and streamers, in order to grow their channels and actually get new viewers. Instead of just having those annoying people join in chat, pretend to be your friend, and then try to sell you graphics, view bots, or feed pics. Yeah, they're getting pretty desperate now. So let's go over the one proven method that you can start using today to start growing and getting new viewers into your streams and channels. So let's start from the top. If you're a small streamer, then you probably go live. You probably heard the whole ramble on play discoverable games and avoid playing Fortnite, all these oversaturated games, yada, yada, yada. But we all know that even while doing this and you're playing less saturated games, you can grow a little bit, but it's not anything significant. So instead of trying to stream saturated games or unsaturated games, let's just put that aside because we all know discoverability on Twitch pretty much sucks. So then I'm sure you've heard, oh, well, if I can't grow on Twitch, well, then where can I? And everyone says grow on more discoverable platforms, which is correct, except they don't really tell you how to do that. At least not in the most efficient way, which I want to tell you guys today. Because what'll happen is people will play their game, they'll do their 5-hour-long stream or however long it's gonna be. And then after they're done streaming, they'll go into their VODs, which are a couple hours long usually. And then they'll go and they'll scrub and they'll scrub and they'll scrub to try and find a funny clip or something interesting that happened. And then literally just use like the built-in Twitch editor. Because as you can see here, you'll go and click on a clip and then share portrait. You can do some minor edits and whatnot. And then they'll share it directly to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But the problem is that this is just adding more garbage to these other platforms. And it's not actually the proven method on how to actually grow. It's the same concept, but it's not the right way to do it because it wastes so much time. And a little preview into later in the video, we're going to use a tool called Nexus Clips and how to speed everything up, but I'll get to that later. So instead of having to go through all of these hours wasted and streams wasted, I want you to start doing one thing. No matter what game or category you decide to stream, doesn't matter. Could be popular, could be unpopular. That part does not matter. What matters is when you're actually streaming these games, categories, events, whatever it is, you need to be streaming with at least a small portion of your brain processing how can I make some really clip-worthy moments during the actual stream. Because we like to work smarter and not harder. And efficiency is one of my huge turn-ons. So any way we can make anything more efficient, I'm in. So an example of this is over on my gaming YouTube channel, which is literally just for research and experiments. I don't actually upload anymore, but literally just to test the stuff out that I teach you guys. These right here are a couple examples of what I'm talking about. For this one specifically, it's got over 14,000 views, 6,500 views, 11,000 views. A game that nobody's pretty much ever heard of because I'm pretty sure it's just me and like 10 other people that played it, yet 14,000 people watched it, which reinforces, hey, I can play these games that no one's ever heard of before because I'm passionate about it. I like it. It's all about the marketing behind it. And here's an example of where I didn't have the mindset, yet it still worked out because it was just a really epic moment. It cuts right into the action. It's something that you've never seen before. It's a literal frog that's jumping on a plane that's doing a barrel roll, and it's just me trying to balance, but also narrating. It cuts right into the action. It just happened to be a golden goose moment that I was able to just rip from my stream and upload, and it worked pretty well because the music was actually in the background of the game and everything just kind of worked together. So this is basically a moment where we just got lucky, right? However, if we go up one to this, I have been playing this game for a while now. I've never been able to beat it, but it's basically only up but you're in a bathtub, right? So another game that no one's ever heard of, yet I'm streaming these games. And it's literally just comes down to the marketing and the mindset that you have when you're streaming these games because, hey, I was playing this game and I'm like, you know what? It'd be a lot funnier if maybe when I get to this part again, because I've been playing this for hours, right? I've been falling at the same part over and over and over again. It'd be a lot funnier if, hey, maybe I came up and spoke during the stream and I was like, hey, like, oh, this is going to be the one time that we actually make it, right? And I demonstrate that in this one specifically. I've gotten my butt kicked. I've fallen off the platform numerous times, yet I'm like, okay, well, even if I don't make it, maybe I can still get a good clip out of it. So I switched that little switch in my brain and I instantly, as soon as I came up here to get to the really hard part that I'm getting smoked on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to say my hook and just go right into it. And so what I say is, all right, chat, I think this is the one time we're actually going to make this part. So if I play it, I think I finally figured out this rhythm. Here we go. Full send. And here we go. Wait wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and we're going. So literally this is me doing my stream. However, this is me streaming with the mindset that I'm gonna hopefully get a good clip out of it. So I'm narrating it. I'm trying to get as least amount of dead air as possible to avoid any editing. I really tried my best here. It ended up being funny because I got pretty far, but I didn't quite make it. So the fact that we got really close, there's a lot like, oh, we should have fell there. Oh, we didn't. We're still in it. We're still in it. We should have fell here. Didn't. We're still in it. Oh, maybe there's a glimmer of hope, and we fall. I'm like, oh man, we just lost like 30 minutes of progress, whatever. And I was like, man, that sucks, and then end it. So there's no dead air. There's none of this stuff, because when you're making short form content, attention is everything. You want to cut out dead air. You want to make sure that you hook in your viewer. So whether it's a visual hook, like, oh my God, what is this? Like he's driving a bathtub on a very difficult game. Like visually speaking, you're hooked in. Now for the audible, AKA like hearing, that's when I say at the very beginning, the audio hook. So, all right, guys, I finally figured this out. Here we go. So that's the hook for the audio, and the visual hook is literally everything on screen because you've not really seen it before. And there's so many different types of hooks you could use. You could go for an educational style hook. Like, okay, here's 5 different ways that you can improve your Black Ops 6 game in the short video. And then you'll go through and basically be like, okay, well, this gun does this gun does that, blah, blah, blah. This strategy does that. So you could go for an educational hook. But in this case, this was like, oh my God, this game's literally impossible. This is what's going to happen. So there's multiple different ways that you can hook in your audience. It just depends on what you choose to either spark their curiosity on, like, okay, will he actually make it? And also making sure that you set the context correctly, because the context for this is everything. And this happens to everybody, but we reviewed this person's channel on my Twitch stream, which I try to do once a week just to help people out, was they did what everyone else does, right? They do their stream and they'll try and clip out funny moments from that stream. But the problem is they didn't really think about this ahead of time, right? They weren't making these clips during stream when they were thinking about it, right? They just watched back the stream like, oh, that was kind of funny. But the problem is none of these are breaking 300 views, which happens to literally everybody because they don't know what to do, right? And specifically the problem here is that they're inside jokes or jokes happening between the people communicating in the game, and setting the context for that is really, really difficult. So instead of doing this, maybe you'll add some visual at the top here instead of the Twitch logo. You would literally just say, I can't believe my friend said this, or whatever. Literally just something visually and then audio to be able to hook in your viewer, to spark their curiosity to want to watch all the way to the end of the video, which improves your watch time, which tells the algorithm this is a good video and will push it out to more people. And that's where a lot of people get discouraged, because they're like, oh, well, I don't know how to make a hook. I don't know how to make it funny, and I don't know how to do all of this, but it comes with time. And you just got to be easy on yourself, because after you learn what makes a good hook, how to get someone's attention both visually and audibly, then your videos start performing a little bit better. And then you're like, all right, well, what can I do to make it better? Maybe I get rid of some of the dead air, or maybe I get rid of this text, or maybe I get rid of this voice line, because people's attention span on short form content, I hate to break it to you, is awful. So trying to keep someone's attention for, how long is this? 26 seconds is pretty difficult, but you know what's easier? Trying to keep their attention for 15 seconds. So maybe making it shorter, cutting out things that don't necessarily add to the clip, just to make it more compact, because you literally only want to have the gold, none of the silver, none of the bronze, just have that gold and pack it in there as densely as you can. And obviously you can follow that up with animated captions like they've done here, and maybe some more edits like zooms. You can have different colors for different text. Like if your friend is speaking, maybe have that as green. If you're speaking, maybe have it as white. Lots of different things that you guys can do. And if all of this information makes you really overwhelmed, you just can't handle it, check out my free streamers masterclass linked in the description down below. You're gonna get your hand held by me, who's been streaming for over 8 years and creating content for this long, and making it super easy and dumbed down, because you know that's how I roll, to make your journey that much easier. So feel free to check out that in the description down below. But what I really don't want you guys to do, and what everyone else does and keeps complaining that they're not getting views, is they'll do their stream willy-nilly just like any other stream, and then they'll end their stream, and then they'll sift through hours of the VOD trying to find one funny moment and just hope that they get lucky, like that golden goose clip that I showed you earlier, where it was literally only up at your frog on the plane. Like, it's possible to get those, but you're sifting through so much crap to try and find this diamond, when really you should be throwing as many diamonds into your stream as much as possible. And in order to avoid all of that scanning through all of your VODs, in order to find these clips, I do have one other secret for you guys, which I'll leave at the end of the video, so stick around till then. But a quick little recap so far is, 1, play whatever you want. You can play and stream whatever game, event, literally anything you want, unless it's like copyrighted TV or movies. Don't do that, you're gonna get banned. Number 2, it's not about what you stream, it's the marketing behind what you're presenting to your viewers. If I went with the hook and the title and I changed it from this to driving is hard game, full walkthrough, Cody plays this game, the marketing on that sucks, right? There's no hook, there's no curiosity, there's no reason for you to watch this. However, when I market it as this game is literally impossible, impossible, it makes it a lot easier to digest because one, the person doesn't know driving is hard is probably even a game. So you want to dumb it down as easy as possible because you also have to remember that people have no context when they're swiping into your shorts. Half of them are watching cat videos or girls twerking videos and they swipe into this. So context is everything. They need to know in the first second or two what to expect. And if they look at this right here, this game is literally impossible. And visually you can see it's a very difficult game, and it's a game that right there, it tells you it's a game and it's impossible. It tells you the context in literally a second. And that's what a lot of people end up missing, especially when you're trying to do funny moments or inside jokes from your streams when you haven't actually planned out, hey, I'm gonna do this during my stream because it's gonna be a good clip. Because you really gotta put more thought into what clips you can get out of your streams when you're still streaming, because it makes it so much more efficient. And you know we like efficiency, but how do we make it the most efficient? The standard route would be to take your stream and then put it in a video editing software and go through and scrub the VOD, find the moments, and then add the captions, add everything, add all the slick little edits, then export it and do all of that stuff, which generally takes newcomers pretty much hours to do all of that. And then when they realize that they should be posting probably a couple times a week or whatever they're consistent with, they get burnt out very, very quickly, especially when they're juggling kids, a job, school, all of that stuff. I know this because I've went through all of this. I've literally wasted so many hours doing exactly that. And so thank God for being in 2025, we now have a cheat code to streamline this all for us. And that's where nexusclips.com comes into play, because they're an AI tool that makes everything so much easier. And luckily for us, they sponsored this tiny segment of the video as well. It's like peanut butter and jelly. We need it, they provide it, we got it. All you gotta do is head over to Nexus Clips, which I have linked in the top of the description for you and in the comment. Then you can go sign up, then you'll connect your Twitch or YouTube account. Then when you're done doing your stream, you'll get an email from them, so you'll simply click create clips now. What this does is it automatically scans your hour-long VOD, 10-hour-long VOD, whatever, for the most clippable moments and the best moments. So then you can just simply scroll through here and it'll give you a rating on how good it thinks it is. That way you can save so much more time. But truthfully, I use it in a different way to save even more time, and that's by going over to the homepage. And then instead of doing that, I will then use the OBS replay buffer, which I'll show you how to use at the end of this video, to automatically take clips live while I'm streaming, and then upload those clips by clicking import clip here, and then drag in the video. And then I'll make all of my edits in here. Doing it this way saves literal hours of time compared to using a traditional video editor. So you can see on the right-hand side, this is our preview, and then you'll be able to choose from different framing. So like if you want a mini face cam, like if you're gaming, you'll grab your face over here, have your face cam, and then you'll have your game in the background. So this instance, since it's just chatting, I'm just gonna make it full screen. Then you'll be able to go to the subtitles option, and you can choose all these different subtitles to pick from. I like the highlight one, so I'm gonna click on that one. And then you can go to the text, because if there's a chance that one of the words was maybe picked incorrectly, you'll be able to go and just click on it, and you can hit edit or add or delete or whatever. And then you can go and add it and say times instead of time, and then it'll just change it right there. And you can also edit them on the length and the different delivery down here. So like if I needed to move this a little more earlier, then I can go and do that and just play it, and it's a little bit earlier. And then above the subtitles, you have the sticker option, which you can turn on if you want. I truthfully don't like using it too much, but basically if you have these enabled, it'll just have like a little text box like this with your handle. So if you want to self promo at the end of the clip, I feel like that's fine. But at the beginning, it kind of turns off your viewers. So you can enable that if you want, and then adjust the length down here, like the hook. If we click that, it's going to pick a catchy phrase, like make it easy, or you can also change it to, I can't believe this happened. Super generic, but honestly kind of works sometimes. And so you can change like the different styles. So maybe do this one or this one to kind of contrast the actual text down here. So like if I go here, you can see that and the contrast there. And maybe if I want to make this a little shorter, I can do that. And then also maybe if I want to get rid of this dead air, I will go here and then click the scissors, and then here, and then hit the scissors, and then click on that, hit the delete key. And now we have gotten rid of the dead air. And so now we got our little hook there on the right-hand side, which I'll hide my webcam. So we got our hook, which I would probably want to put either up here or here. Maybe I'll do there, and I'll hit play. And then now we have that. We have all of the animated captions, which we can edit, and pretty much majority of it done for us, which only took about a minute or two. So like I said, if you really wanted to have that sticker, and I know a lot of you do because they were pretty angry that Twitch had gotten rid of that option, what I would do is I would turn the sticker on, and truthfully, I would go all the way to the end of your clip after you're done making all your edits and whatnot, all the way to the end, maybe about here, and then just have it on for a couple seconds. So maybe like over here, and then put that maybe there, and maybe do that, because that looks a lot better. So that way, at the very end of the clip, that's kind of your call to action, your CTA, to inspire them to go and check you out over on your channel, which is ultimately what we want. And then when you're done doing all of your edits, all you gotta do is hit share. And truthfully, I would download it and then upload it directly to TikTok and YouTube, just because I feel like you have more control that way. But if you're super lazy, you can totally just connect your accounts and publish it that way. And doing this consistently over time is gonna get us more views. So if you wanna save some money and try out Nexus Clips for yourself, I got a discount code for you guys exclusively and right below me, so feel free to check that out. It's also in the description too. But using this strategy of not only just streaming whatever you want to stay passionate about it and not be burnt out, combined with having the mentality of being able to create clips while you're streaming with the intention of making good clips, and then consistently being able to do it and upload multiple times a week, will allow you to actually grow on more discoverable platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, without burning yourself out, especially when you combine it with Nexus Clips, which does pretty much all the heavy lifting for you. You just have to master the art of short form content. Like how we went over, you have to learn how to hook people in, spark their curiosity, do the animated captions, basically hold their attention all the way to the end of the video, improve pacing by getting rid of dead air, and ultimately making sure they know the context when they swipe into your video, because they don't have a thumbnail for these things. They swipe right in. Could be watching a cat video right before you're watching your Phasmophobia clip. Context is everything, guys. So if I were you, I would take whatever time you're streaming right now, cut that boy in half, and take whatever new time you've just gained, learn how to do all that stuff. Rewatch this video on creating hooks, sparking curiosity, all the different ways that you can hook in your viewer, and master the art of short form content. Because when you start growing on these other platforms like YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok, then you're gonna be able to funnel them over to your Kick streams, your Twitch streams, your YouTube streams, wherever, which ultimately is how so many big streamers grow these days, because as we all know, discoverability on Twitch is pretty much non-existent. So if you're ready to start growing right now, watch this video to the side of me. It's gonna show you how to use the OBS replay buffer to save so much time to take clips while you're streaming. So give that a watch. My name's Cody, and I will see you in the next one.